Happy early and also late St. Patrick's Day. Today I'll be making no-bake matcha cheesecake. Green is my favorite color, so let's jump in. The first step is making the crushed Oreo base. Here are the ingredients for the base. You're going to need some delicious Oreos. I got some double stuffed Oreos. You need a stick of butter. Any type of butter is fine. Next is you need any type of salt, honestly. I use pink Himalayan salt for this recipe. You also need a silicone mold baking pan. This is great for no-bake frozen recipes because you can easily pop them off right off. Since it asks for 12 for this recipe, make sure there's 12 molds in there. And lastly, you need a digital scale. You need 150 grams of Oreos, or just about 11 Oreos. I take all of the Oreos and put them in a small food processor. I also poured in 2.8 ounces of melted butter into the Oreos and added in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use high speed on my food processor and mix them all up. You can also use a small bowl, stir together the crushed Oreo cookies, salt, and melted butter until it becomes the texture of wet sand. Next, I use 1 tablespoon of crushed Oreo base and place them into my silicone mold pan. The second step of the recipe is making the matcha cheesecake filling. First, I got the organic matcha tea powder. You need cream cheese, of course, for the cheesecake. Next is heavy whipping cream. Another one you need is powdered sugar. You also need Greek yogurt. And lastly, a medium-sized bowl. For the recipe, it mentions stirring together the matcha powder and the whipping cream 1 tablespoon at a time until it becomes a smooth paste with no lumps of matcha. I noticed that 1 tablespoon of whipping cream wasn't enough to make the matcha all smooth. So what I decided is to add 2 more tablespoons of heavy whipping cream, and that did the trick. So altogether, you'll be needing 1.5 tablespoons of matcha powder and 10 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. In a separate large mixing bowl, put together 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, and a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. So I'm an idiot, and this is what happens when you don't tilt the bowl. Anyways, use a hand mixer or a stand mixer until it becomes smooth and creamy. Now it's time to mix these two. Put half the matcha cream into the cream cheese mixture. After that, gently fold them using a silicone spatula. You want to be very gentle with this because you don't want to deflate the whipping cream too much. Once you're done, fold in the rest of the matcha cream until the mixture becomes airy and smooth with no white streaks. Lastly, spoon the cheesecake mixture into your mold on top of the Oreo crust. Fill your mold almost all the way to the top and gently smooth out the surface. And there you have it. The second step is now completed. For the last part, you'll need these ingredients for the whipping cream. First, the powdered sugar, then the vanilla extract. I'll be using organic vanilla extract for mine. Third, the heavy whipping cream. Fourth, a whisk, and lastly, a large bowl. In a large mixing bowl, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, and 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. After that, use a hand mixer or stand mixer until it becomes stiff peaks. It should look something like this. Once you finish making the whipping cream, transfer it into a piping bag or a plastic Ziploc bag. If you have a decorative piping tip, go ahead and use it. For me, I'll be just cutting the tip of the plastic bag. So this is actually my first time using a plastic bag method for my whipping cream. And it looks like a mess. Like, just by looking at it right now, it just looks like crap. Wow, look at this masterpiece right there. So I saw a quick tutorial on how to pipe the whipping cream properly, and it looks slightly better. One day I'll get it though. Make some crumbled up Oreo bits and put it as a topping for your matcha cheesecake. Yay, it's finally done. This took forever to make. So the next step is put it in the freezer and let it sit for 4 hours or overnight. I left it in for 4 hours and here is the final result. So with the silicone mold, like I said, it should pop right off like this. And there you have it. Look how cute they are. It's nice and green and festive for St. Patty's Day or any date. So hopefully my boyfriend liked this recipe. Well, let's see how it goes.
I'm Ariana's boyfriend. I'm also 50% Irish. Did you know my actual name was supposed to be Richard O'Reilly? That's pretty Irish. Today we're going to be eating something green. At least that's what Ariana made. So, let's have a bite. I hear a dog. Okay, so this is what I think. Check this out, cameraman. This is nice, light, and fluffy. And it fills me full of joy. And you have like Oreo cookie crumbly boys at the bottom. That's good because it gives a nice firm base. But then the matcha right here, it's subtly sweet, but it's not like sugary sweet. So it actually balances out like the more light and fluffy happiness and the dark and crunchy happiness. So this is a solid 4.9 out of 5. The reason why it's not 5 is because I'm getting really messy really quickly. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of one of my favorite childhood movies. Shrek. I would call this a swamp cake. Donkey. Get out of my swamp. Because somebody once told me the world was going to roll me. And then I saw her face. And now I am a believer.
Yay, my boyfriend loved it. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Thank you for joining me.